Get home from school, turn on my TV. Who are these friends staring right back at me? Now that we're older.
Hi, I'm Amanda.
And I'm Jessica.
And this week on 90s Babies Nostalgia, we're covering something a little bit different. We're a couple of 90s babies who love to talk about media, and today we're getting into some reality. Just to be clear, we're not sponsored by anyone that we are talking about, which, no, it's not actors or brands, but there is a production company behind it.
Mm-hmm. And as always, in the last few episodes, we are in full support of the actors on strike with SAG-AFTRA, which is why we are not doing any strike content, which is why we're switching it up and doing some reality TV for you all this time. But we are hoping they come to a deal soon, so maybe we can have some fun holiday movies, but we are not holding our breath. And making sure they get fair wages is more important.
Jess is just throwing out, she said the quiet part out loud about her podcasting planning.
Mm-hmm.
I will discuss what we're talking about in a minute, but first, Jess, what have you been enjoying lately?
I've been enjoying fall candles. I brought a little show and tell. In our fall bracket episode, I mentioned that Leaves by Bath and Body Works is my favorite fall candle, which was true. But I feel like I have a close second contender from Bath and Body Works that it is new to me. I don't know if it's a new one this year, but it is called Pumpkin Carving. It smells so good, like fall, but very subtle. Like it's not overpowering and very like spice forward.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if you like me love Leaves from Bath and Body Works, Trader Joe's came out with an autumn leaves scented candle that is an exact dupe for the Bath and Body Works one. And yes, it's a smaller tin, but this is like $3 and the Bath and Body Works one is like $26 or something crazy. So go hit up your local Trader Joe's because this candle is amazing. I bought 4 of them. Like the crazy person I am. What have you been enjoying?
Well, on that similar note, I
Oh.
have been enjoying pumpkin spice lattes. Now, I know what you're going to say. Not Jessica, 'cause she would never judge me like this, but listeners, I am a basic bitch, and that's fine. I've dealt with the insecurity about it, and I'm coming out the other side because you know what? It's fun to enjoy them. But what I am saying is I'm not enjoying Starbucks's. I've not even tried it. I tried it once when I worked there close about a decade ago actually, and it wasn't for me. It wasn't. We've discussed this. A pumpkin spice latte is supposed to be about the spices, but people were like, it doesn't taste like pumpkin. So Starbucks's is like a thicker pumpkin-y flavor. That's not what I'm after. What I'm recommending to people and what I have been enjoying is going to different local coffee shops and getting their autumnal pumpkin spice or similar drink. I've gotten a butternut squash fall spice one, which was good.
That sounds delicious.
It was like the way I see it, if I'm going to spend $7 for a latte with oat milk, like, because I'm going to spend that if I get a latte with oat milk at Starbucks or at a local coffee shop, especially if it's a specialty latte. It's just what our world has come to. I want to get it from a local place because it's going to taste so much better.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just really enjoying like that New York coffee, you know?
Yeah, I love that. I love that we both went very fall.
What else I've been enjoying that we are going to get into now is Love Island. If you don't know, Love Island is back. They do mostly their standard series is every summer, and sometimes they do a winter series as well. In the past, they've done 2 winter series that have been classic Love Island, but this winter, as of November 1st, they are on with Love Island Games, which is kind of giving Perfect Match done better through Love Island
Hmm.
because it's
Okay.
and I think this is really interesting and something we can talk about is like the way that these networks keep building up their like reality TV cinematic universes. Perfect Match was like contestants from every Netflix show, and Paramount did what was it called? Oh, All Star Shore that had contestants from various Paramount, Viacom shows, like even people from Drag Race. Um,
Bachelor did something similar. They did Bachelor Games and it was like a one and done. They did not do it again. I don't think it was very popular, but they brought in people from all the different bachelors, like Bachelor Canada, Bachelor Australia, and kind of like made them compete against each other.
yeah, so Love Island Games is similar to what you described with Bachelor Games. Is that what it was also called?
Yeah, it was called Bachelor Games.
That's so funny that they literally did the same thing. And the very beginning, the voiceover guy did say the first ever and maybe the last, depending on ratings. So,
Mhm.
but they brought together previous contestants, winners or non, from not all of, but from different countries that have Love Island.
Mm.
And they're all in the same house, and it's the same style, kind of, but it's different because it's pre-recorded and there's more challenges and games, and those are gonna determine their coupling ups and their, um, various other things versus it's normally a public vote. But anyway, that's what's happening right now. So, in honor of Love Island Games coming out, I'm going to introduce Jessica to Love Island Classic UK because this
Mhm.
girl is a bachelor girl. This
Mhm.
girl has seen Perfect Match. She's seen some shows. She's not a Love Island girl and she's been hesitant. And so I'm hoping by the end of this, I will have convinced you that it might just be worth watching.
I feel like I know that it's worth watching because it has a cult following. However, it's a huge commitment, and that's where it gets me. Is like Bachelor already feels like a commitment because it's 2-hour episodes, but
Mhm.
Love Island is every day.
Yes. So, getting into it, the background about Love Island. It's a British reality dating show that started in 2015 on ITV2, and it happens every summer, as I said, and a couple of winters. And it's an hour-long episode Sunday through Friday. You get an hour-long episode that is the active show, and then Saturday is a recap episode.
Mhm.
Sunday also has after the regular episode, they have After Sun, which is a talk show hosted by the host of that season of Love Island or series as they call it in Britain. In the classic summer season, they always go to a villa in Mallorca, and in the winters they go to South Africa. That's for UK. This season is in Fiji for Love Island Games because it was pre-recorded and that's where the US villa is. The US Villa hopped around for a bit. It was, like, in Las Vegas for a season, and some of the people from that season are on Love Island Games, and they're like, "I'm so glad I'm on an actual island this time."
I would be pissed if I ended up in Vegas when my other options were Majorca or Fiji,
Yeah, another one was in, like, Malibu.
which I feel like is okay, not ideal.
We Love Island has had 3 hosts.
Hmm.
Originally, it was hosted by Carolyn Flack, who hosted seasons 1 through 5, and she was like a TV personality, more or less, and
Mm.
this was the biggest thing she was known for. Then it was hosted by Laura Whitmore for seasons 6 through 8. She's the wife of the guy who does the voiceover. And now Maya Jama is the host of seasons 9, 10, and Love Island Games. And this was a long time coming because Love Island has been like under a lot of pressure for everything all the time, but especially for its diversity. And Maya Jama is a woman of color. She's got curves. She's so good at her job. She's so good at the slow mo walk and coming in with the drama. And it's just great. Now, the other main person that is consistent is Ian Sterling, who does the voiceover. He
Mm.
is a Scottish comedian.
Oh, okay.
This is my favorite part about the show. He's like, because he's constantly taking the piss out of the entire thing the whole time.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, okay. I want to hear more.
Yeah. So he's been the voiceover guy since the beginning of Love Island UK. He said he was hesitant at first because he was trying to make it as a traditional comedian and didn't necessarily want to be associated with like a reality TV dating show to ruin his career. But then he saw the first bits of footage and just like immediately fell in love with these dumb, hot idiots
Mhm.
and knew he had to do it. And he's so good at it that the US version has had other people try to imitate his style, but it just didn't work out, and now he also narrates the US.
Oh my god. They're like, we tried getting someone else, didn't work. Bring in the Scottish guy.
Yeah, and the Islanders always are like shown making fun of him. That's what contestants are called, is Islanders. They're always shown like imitating his voice. It's how I started off this episode. He always says, "Tonight on Love Island" to
Mm.
start off. Um and yeah, anyway, it's great. He's ridiculous. So, Jess, what is your understanding of how Love Island works? Like the format of it?
I don't really know besides like what you've told me or I've heard other people talk about on podcasts, but my understanding is all these people come live in a house and like to some extent they need to be paired, otherwise they get voted off and then they bring new people in. But then also I know sometimes they like ship all the women off to another place, and then it's like it's called something that has a Love Island term, and then they bring in new people and then they bring everyone back together and it causes a bunch of chaos and swirl. um that's my understanding. I literally have no idea how someone wins or how people get voted off. Like, I don't understand all of that.
Honestly, great foundation we're working with.
Okay.
So, as you mentioned, a group of hot people live in a villa for 6 to 8 weeks in an attempt to find love. Like, that's the copy.
Hmm.
It starts off typically with 5 to 6 couples. Now, here's the thing, listeners. It is painfully straight. That is not to say that there has not been some same-sex shenanigans, particularly in
Oh.
the US and a little bit in the UK. However, the format of the show is painfully straight. People have brought that up, and the people who run it have been like, we don't know how to reformat it to not be straight. I think as a bisexual, you just put in all bisexuals and pansexuals, and then you're good to go. But
Yeah.
for
Sure.
the for the sake of this podcast, I will be discussing it through the lens of the heteronormative gender binary. Okay?
Hmm.
Okay. So we start out with 5 to 6 boys and girls, and traditionally
That's it.
5 to 6 each.
That still feels like less than I expected, but that makes sense. I guess similar to Bachelor in Paradise.
Um, it alternates each season which one comes out first, because typically it'll be like all of the girls enter the villa through their big entrances, and then the guys will walk out like one at a time. And what they do is the girls line up, and when the guy comes out, he's introduced, and the hostess tells the girls they can step forward if they're interested in him or not. And then he gets to choose which girl to couple up with. It doesn't have to be a girl that stepped forward for him, and she could already be in a couple from a different guy that came out before him. But it's just a gauge of like who might be interested in him. And so it also does the other way around, where sometimes the guys step forward and the girls get to choose. That's how they start their initial couples. However, this has gotten heat about it being sexist or whatever. So recently they've been mixing it up and having fans vote beforehand to pair up the couples, which is
Oh.
like fine. It's a little bit boring because it's mostly like a bunch of middle-aged white British ladies, so they just pair them up based on like appearance and race pretty much.
Mm.
But it's fine. The initial pairings don't really matter because the first night, in comes the first bombshell.
Mm.
Now, Love Island lingo, a bombshell is a person who walks into the villa, not a starter, basically.
Oh, okay, okay.
Because like starters in that initial 5 to 6 couples, inevitably about half of them make it to finals. They have the longest screen time with the viewers, and so they are, like, the fan favorites often. Bombshells have to come in with the confidence of being the outsider and stirring up some shit and breaking up some couples.
Mm.
So they have to, like, be extra hot. Yeah. So typically a bombshell comes in first night and they get the twist of they have like 24 to 48 hours to decide which couple they're going to break up.
Mm.
And then the person who is forced out of that couple is then left single and vulnerable. Now they always say single and vulnerable in the like telling the islanders what could be the repercussions. Usually that person then has more time to get coupled up again. However, in season 7, they brutally dumped that girl on the very first night
Oh no.
when nobody knew anybody.
Oh no. So mean.
So throughout the series, the couples take part in challenges, they go on dates, they have a lot of chats that are very meaningless. Everything is communicated to them via their cell phones. The host actually isn't in the villa very often, only for like big things. Bombshells come in regularly, like weekly, couple times a week. Sometimes 2 to 3 bombshells will come in at a time. They get to go on dates with the islanders, shake up the couples, and then once a week there's a recoupling. And sometimes the people who are left single, they alternate if the guys choose or the girls choose, but they recouple. They give these cute little speeches about like, I want to couple up with this person because like every day I feel a little bit closer to them and they really make me laugh and they make the best cheese toasty in the villa. And it gets really cute and mushy.
Honestly, that is how I would gauge who I wanted to couple up with. What acts of service can they provide to me? And if it is food, that is like 10 extra points.
The recoupling speeches are so funny because there's the genuine couples who are like I love them with all my heart and soul kind of shit. And then there's the friendship couples who are like they keep us all like I can't imagine the villa without them. They're my best friend because they haven't found a romantic partner. But sometimes it'll be like there's weird triangles. So someone got to recouple with someone who had 2 suitors and then
Mm.
like it'll be literally like the last 2 left just don't want to be together, but they don't get to be with the people they want to be. And like
Mm.
sometimes they'll be bitter about it and they'll be like, I want to couple up with this person because we're both here.
Uh, if they say like I want to couple up with this person, does the other person have a chance to be like no?
No.
Oh, okay. Don't love that. There's the consent.
Yeah, no. And if you couple up together, you sleep in the same bed. That's the big thing. And they also all sleep in a communal bedroom. I forgot to mention this. They're in a fucking villa with a pool and a workout area and a terrace and a kitchen, but they all have like one bedroom with like 7 beds. And yeah, it's always how it's been.
You're telling me they're in a villa that probably has 14 bedrooms in it,
Mm-hmm.
and they make them all sleep in one bedroom.
Yep. Sometimes if there's too many couples, there's like overflow into the living room.
Okay.
But yeah, they all have to sleep in the same room. Which
That's dumb, but it creates drama, so I'm kind of into it.
so throughout the series, there's moments when the public get to vote for the islanders. Traditionally, these are like your favorite islander, your favorite couple, most compatible couple. They'll do like vote for your favorite girl and your favorite boy, so it's not even in the couples. And also sometimes the islanders get to vote for each other. Like there's always a vote where they're like list your least compatible couple and like in their couples they have to choose one of the other couples. And usually they do some sort of twist where it'll be like so the 3 couples got voted by the islanders as least compatible. Now the public has to vote to save their favorite one. And then the ones that don't get saved get dumped. Or sometimes even they'll be like these 2 were least compatible. So they have to break up, but they can stay in the villa or they can leave.
Okay.
Or they'll be like the public voted these 2 couples their least favorite. Now, the girls have to decide which boy to go home, and the boys have to decide which girl to go home, but they can't talk to each other while they decide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So there's always, like, a little twist, and these weird couplings always happen at a fire pit. Lord knows why. It's very, very dramatic.
Hmm. Also, it's probably fucking hot as hell in the
Yeah.
summer,
In the summer in Majorca, sometimes they get really hot and they, like, have to be outside.
and they're forced to be around a fire. Is the fire pit indoors?
The fire pit is outside, but it's at night that they do the recouplings for the drama.
Hmm. Okay, okay.
And then the last big part of the formatting is there's always a live finale in which the public has voted for their favorite couple. So you get a fourth, third, second, and first place. That's how you win. It's a popularity contest.
What do you win?
So they win 50,000 pounds. It's not that big of a
Oh.
deal.
No, but in the UK, like, prize money, it's vastly different than
Mm.
in the US. Like, how, you go on a game show here and it's like, you can win $1,000,000. But in the UK, the same thing would be like, you can win 100,000 pounds, you know? So I feel like 50,000 pounds for winning a reality dating show is actually, like, pretty decent.
Yeah, 50,000. Okay, so in the beginning, it definitely was. And the first 7 seasons, they had this fun thing where the winning couple, after they found out they won, they were presented with 2 envelopes, and one envelope had the 50,000 pounds and the other envelope had nothing. So they each got one, and then whoever got the 50,000 pounds could choose, like, was this really for love? Like, are we going to split the money or am I going to take all of the money? So it
Hmm.
really, like, puts in this perspective of, like, do these people really like each other or is it all a game to get the money? However, they got rid of that starting in season 8 because no one has literally ever taken the money and run. I wish
Oh,
so desperately that they would, but people from Love Island get so big afterwards that there's still this element of, are you just playing a game, because they all just wanna be famous.
sure.
So, hallmarks of a Love Island series.
Yeah.
Slow-mo walks from the host. The host is always a hot woman in a hot dress, and currently she is the hottest woman we've ever had, and every time that she enters that villa, it's a slow-mo walk looking fine as hell.
Okay.
An entirely unserious Scottish voiceover.
Mhm.
And there's always an intro in the first episode of the starting heavily produced intro of the starting lineup of Islanders, supposedly, like, at their day jobs, but people are, like, trying to have sex with them, and they're getting texts that it's time to go to the villa and the island, and they, like, leave for Majorca.
Mm.
And so this is how it starts off, and now I have, like, a clip for you to watch.
Okay.
I'm just gonna, like, you're gonna be reacting and I'll capture that, but the clips themselves are not gonna be on the podcast. I will be linking them in the descriptions. I don't want copyright issues, but just so you know, this will be the intro to season 10, which just happened because it felt like kind of perfect, to be honest.
Okay. It's not the games, though. It's the most recent season.
Correct. This is from the summer of 2023.
Okay. This looks like it's trying to sell me a vacation
I know.
with the boat. Okay. Classic shower shots. Oh, we got like a curvy girl.
Yeah, body diversity is also something they have issues with for sure.
I know, but I'm impressed that we saw a curvy girl and she walked out in her swimsuit and you saw her curves and her little fat roll. Like,
Mhm.
into that. Also, this girl's at her desk job in a corporate setting and she's wearing like a vest with her tits out and it has no back.
Look, Catherine,
Yeah.
leave Catherine alone.
Okay. They all have very interesting names.
Yeah, they all usually have the whitest names or very interesting names.
Yeah.
Mehdi is French, to be fair.
Also, I'm not learning anything about what their jobs are. Like,
I mean, the plumber, the model, the nail tech, the curvy girl, Jess, is a beautician, does, like, injections and stuff.
oh.
The dancer, she's a theater girl.
Okay, now we're just getting a bunch of swimsuit shots.
Yes, they do live in swimwear.
Well, yeah, it's like this is giving very Bachelor in Paradise, but, like,
This
more pretty.
montage of the beats and the people touching and stuff is between scenes all the time for Love Island.
We get the Scottish guy. Wait, the Scottish guy is so good. Whoever styled this house
All the villas are similar stylings.
styles.
Yeah, it's a very iconic.
Yeah, I love it.
Did you get to the armpit hair part?
Yes.
I feel like
And they, like, just met each other, and they're, like, walking up holding hands. They
yes,
don't even know
always.
each other.
Yeah, but girls are girls.
Also, if this was US television, they would be blurring those butts hardcore. They're
What?
full asses out. Yes.
They wouldn't blur that in the US.
Yes, they would. Bachelor in Paradise, if
You can
the girls wear Brazilian bikinis, they blur their butts.
Oh.
Yeah.
I feel like this is more well, okay, but Bachelor in Paradise is what, CBS?
ABC?
ABC? It's network. This is not a I feel like this is more MTV, kinda.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's fair.
you know, and also the US one airs on Peacock, so there's that streaming. So, you should have finished the clip by now.
I did.
Yes, what do you think?
I like that it feels like a little classy, but not. Like, I really like all the overwater drone shots. They're really, like, selling you on the, like, vibe.
They always call it the summer of a lifetime.
Oh,
Or
yeah.
the summer of love, the summer of love.
Well, also when he said, "Class is now in session," or whatever he said, I'm like, "What?" It is very enticing. It looks like a reality dating show, but there are elements that you can tell it's, like, giving UK, but also all the people are traditionally hot. I'm glad they included the one, like, curvier girl, but she's still very traditionally hot.
Yes, 100% they are all traditionally hot, and that is a criticism that they get a lot, and I don't think ITV will ever change that. They do live in swimwear all the time. Swimwear and
Yeah.
formal wear are the uniform for Love Island.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's your intro, like, from the beginning, like, we're 10 seasons in, and the Scottish guy is, like, still kinda killing it, where he's like, "And we've got
Yeah.
a fire pit. Don't know why, it's
Yeah.
always been there."
Yeah.
We get classic lingo from Love Island. You're gonna when you watch this show, you're gonna hear the Islanders say the following phrases about 10 times an episode each. "You wanna go for a chat?"
Mhm.
Which I think is self-explanatory.
Mhm.
"I wanted to see where your head's at."
Okay.
"I don't think my head will turn."
What does
It's
that
like
mean?
it's like, "Do you think your head could turn?" "I don't know. I don't think my head will turn." It's like, "Do you think you could be interested in someone else?" Or, "I don't think I would be interested in someone else." Like,
Okay.
your head would turn for someone.
Yeah. Okay.
Got a text? Because most of the communication happens through their phones. So every time someone gets a text, they have their own phones from not their real phones. They get production phones and they get really loud texts. And anytime someone gets one, it goes to one person and they shout through the villa, "I've got a text!" And then have to read it out really loudly.
Okay.
Even though you
It's like a
know,
message delivery system.
yes, even though you know they are surrounded by production crew.
Okay.
Um,
Entirely unnecessary.
I'm not putting all my eggs in one basket.
Okay, yep.
It's still early days, which also a lot of times they'll say early doors. It's still early doors
Okay.
because fucking Brits.
Yeah.
He's my
Uh-huh.
type on paper.
Mhm.
And like, I'm not afraid to stir the pot a little if I have to. A lot of
Mhm.
bombshells will say that. They'll always be like, "Are you coming in to stir the pot?" That's like a classic lingo that you're going to get all the time. Now, there's also a lot of slang. I'm going to quiz you on that later, though.
Okay, great.
Believe it or not, the stuff that I said is not slang.
No. I feel like that's the only ones is like early doors
Mm-hmm. When
or
they start evolving into something else, yeah.
yeah, but everything else you're like, okay, this is like classic group reality TV lingo.
And it's also fun because they all come from different parts of the UK, plus there's almost always at least one Irish guy or girl. Catherine in that intro is Irish. Maddie was French. Sometimes they come from other places, but mostly they're from the UK. But they all have like highly regionalized accents. There's usually like a chunk from Essex, a chunk from Manchester, and a couple of Scots.
Mm,
And then there'll also be like the Love Island specific slang that
mm,
they'll just like come up with something new every season, and we all just have to pretend that we know what they're talking about until context fills it in.
mm.
It's very
Do
strange.
they ever have anyone from Wales?
Oh, yeah. They always have at least one Welsh person, and there have been winners from Wales and
Hmm.
Ireland and Scotland all.
I feel like I would be like, "Oh, I can't date you. I don't know what you're saying."
The
Like,
Welsh people usually really all of them really tone down their accents. I feel like
mm,
the Scots have had the biggest issue. The Welsh only if they try to use Welsh slang, but they usually are, like, accustomed to having to speak to English people.
mhm, mhm. Especially depending where in Scotland they're from, I could see how people would be like, "What is even coming out of your mouth?"
Actually, you know what has the weirdest fucking regional accent?
Hmm.
Geordie. Fucking
Mm,
Newcastle and, like, that
mhm,
Northern England part right
mhm,
before Scotland, they
mhm,
have the thickest fucking accents and the weirdest slang. They speak in
mhm.
third person a lot.
I don't love that.
Yeah. I mean, there's a reason that the Jersey Shore has the spin-off The Geordie Shore, like, they're so it's so strange, but I start when I'm in it, when I'm a month into Love Island, I start thinking in their different accents to where I'm actually getting decent at regionalized British accents.
Mm, okay.
'Cause I'll, like, be mimicking a certain person who has a very thick one.
Mhm.
Okay, so challenges, games, they happen all the time.
Mm,
Iconically not iconically, iconically to me, one of the contestants on season 7 said she went on Love Island as opposed to something like Big Brother because she knew she could actually do the challenges on Love Island because they're not real. They're not hard. They've kind of been doing fewer challenges as time goes on, but we're people get mad about that. So, there's always challenges that involve stripping. There's always silly obstacle courses.
mhm.
There's
Is
usually
stripping a challenge?
oh, yeah, because it'll be, like, all of the girls going, and they have to, like, do they're, like, in a certain costume, and they have to do a strip, tease, and then slide down a slide and do this little obstacle thing, and then the guys have to vote for the hottest one.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yes.
I still don't know if that is a challenge. I feel like that sounds like an activity.
As soon as you're compared, it becomes a challenge.
Sure. Okay, okay, okay.
There's the one that I feel that they're pulling away from, that I don't even know if they did in the last season or 2, but they used to do literally all the time, were challenges where the couples had to move food and or drinks from one end to another via their mouths. Like, there'll be, like, a plate of food or a
Huh.
cup with a drink on one end, and the person on the first end has to put as much into their mouth as they can and then move over and spit it into the other person's mouth, and then that person has to move over and spit it onto a plate or in a cup, and then
Wait, I
whichever
kind of
couple
love this because I could see why they're moving away from it because, like, gross, but also that sort of stuff does not gross me out. I would fucking kill at a challenge like that.
there's
That
always
would be the challenge for me.
and then obviously whoever has the most of the thing at the end wins, like, on
Yeah.
the other end. There's always, like, couples that take it way too seriously, and then there's always couples that, like, are gonna vom, like, cannot deal. There's one girl in series 5 who has said that she's like, "If you guys ever paid attention, they started having me host those challenges because I would not do them because I was gonna vom."
Oh my god.
Some challenges that are staples, though, that they have every single year, there's a
Mhm.
heart race challenge.
Okay.
They gather on the fire pit first, like, they all maybe the boys will all be sitting and the girls will be up in the dressing room, and everyone has a costume that they get given. like maybe like a sexy vampire or sexy nurse or
Okay.
something, and there's an accompanying song, and like a girl will come down to the song and do a sexy dance, and she can lap dance on the guys, she can make out with them, she can do whatever, she can do her own little thing and cringe. They all have heart rate monitors though. And so all of the girls will go, and then the girls will get a chance to sit, and all of the guys will go. And then at the end, they will disclose who raised whose heart rate the most
Oh, interesting. Okay.
to like cause drama because maybe the person you're in a couple with isn't the person who raised your heart the most.
Oh God. Okay. Okay. Actually quite dumb, but also very clever whoever created that challenge. That was smart of them to keep.
I know. It's always such a good time because it's so messy.
Yeah.
There's also always like kissing challenges, like blindfolded kissing challenges where people get rated. Snog, Marry, Pie is a good drama-causing one they always do, where, again, boys will line up and the girls will have to choose one boy to kiss, a snog, one boy to marry, and one boy to pie with a literal, like, whipped cream pie to the
Hi.
face,
Yeah.
and then the boys will have their turn to go, and that usually causes drama because, A, people have very different ideas about which things like, whether or not your person should propose to you or kiss you. Because is it worse if they kiss another girl to propose to you, or is it worse if they
Mm.
propose to another girl?
Mm. What would you say?
I feel like I would want the proposal.
Yeah, me too. I could
Yeah,
give a shit if they kiss someone else. But the emotional side of me would be fucking crushed if they proposed to someone else.
exactly. A lot of times they'll play it real safe, the guys especially, of like if they're gonna kiss or propose to someone that isn't their girl, they'll choose someone who is either their guy's girl, like their best friend's girl,
Mm.
or their girl's best friend. Someone they hang out with a lot that they're like, we really vibe, we're really close. Like, I'm not gonna get in trouble for this because everyone knows like we're good.
Mm. Clever.
Last season there was drama because one guy absolutely did not think and kissed a girl that he had just been coupled up with, and it was romantic. And he was like, "Because I was gonna propose to you," and the girl that he's coupled up with was like, "But why like, of all the girls here, why would you kiss her
Yeah.
specifically?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And then there's also always a sports day, which is fine. It gets hilariously competitive because there's always some, like, professional footballers in Love Island, and so they actually get really.
Soccer.
Yes, soccer players.
Okay.
They get really butthurt when they lose sports day, and they're, like, the dumbest challenges. There'll be, like, egg spoon races and sack races and stuff. There's also dates. Oftentimes, the dates are just, like, you're at a table with some wine and some candles. When you get to the final top 5 couples, you get the final dates. These are grand, these are expensive. There's always a boat date. The boat has been getting bigger every season. I believe the first time we saw a boat date, it was like a fishing boat.
Mm.
Now, it's a fucking yacht with a jacuzzi on it,
Ooh, okay.
like a multi-story yacht. It's
Yeah.
incredible. The others get, like, cultural choirs, they get candlelit dinners and castles with live orchestras.
Mm.
One couple had to stand in a fucking pool with rose petals in it with a floating champagne flute. Weirdest final date ever. Another couple got like a picnic with pictures. It's hit or miss. But the one thing you will never go without, whether it's a final date or one of those little tables with a regular outing, is that Ian Sterling, the Scottish voice narrator, will tell you how absolute shit this date is.
Mm.
Because he says it's funny because you'll be looking at it and you'll be like, "Wow, this is stunning." But he'll be
Yeah.
saying like, "Wow, our date team really couldn't spring for more than 12 quid, huh?" Like
Yeah. Oh, funny.
and there's also always like a montage where the guys and the girls get ready for their dates because they get texted that they're going on dates. And so like all the girls will go to the dressing room together to help the girl get ready for her date and then see her off. They didn't do this until like series 4 or 5, but I just love it because it feels very like fun,
Yeah.
supportive,
Yeah. And realistic.
kind of. Yeah. And they'll often share clothes as well.
Yeah, I feel like that is realistic. I mean, like, obviously, as you stop living with roommates and stuff, but when you think of like a roommate environment where you're living with a bunch of women, it's like you all get ready together. If someone's getting ready, you keep them company and you help them pick out outfits and you make sure their makeup looks good. And, like,
That's true, that's true. We also always have friendship couples and nice guys in Love Island. There's always one, he sucks, he barely gets in a couple, he never makes it rarely makes it to the final.
oh,
There's such a no, don't. They're nice guys in quotes. They're not no. There's also a hideaway, which is a
okay.
private bedroom area.
Oh, how do you get to go there?
So the very first seasons, the hideaway was always open, which was kind of hilarious, but traditionally now it'll be like 3 to 4 texts in a series where they'll get a text saying the hideaway is now open. Islanders choose one couple to go to spend the night in the hideaway, and then they'll all shout out which couple they want, and they never repeat couples. It's always like they usually
Oh,
choose like the longest or strongest couple to go.
okay.
And they're always very excited for them. There are cameras in the hideaway. There are cameras everywhere. But it is usually where there's some hanky panky. There's also lingerie and sex toys in the hideaway, and
Oh,
often a nice little pool or something, and massage oil. And
whose job do you think it is to clean the sex toys? Because that is immediately where my brain went. And that sounds terrible.
probably a native Majorcan.
Ugh, I hope it's like a production assistant or something.
The other hallmark that you mentioned is fucking Casa Amor.
Yeah, okay, I knew it had some weird ass name. I was like, they frickin' ship people somewhere else.
Oh my god, so it started in series 3, and
Okay.
they'll sneak out all of the boys or girls. They don't tell them where they're going. They'll be like, "Boys, you all need to leave the villa for a special day out. Don't tell the girls."
Huh.
And they don't tell them. The last time, it was so fucking funny because they get a musical guest, and the musical guest was like, "I want a selfie with all the girls in front of the villa." So he did, and then he just, like, ushered them into a van, and it um, and they go to a villa that's close enough that the other islanders can see that the villa lights come on,
Oh, okay.
and there's stuff in the villa, and they alternate who goes to Casa Amor and who stays in the main villa, like the boys or the girls. But there's some stuff in there, but they generally, like, don't get to pack their stuff. They make their partners in the main villa pack their stuff after they realize that Casa Amor is happening. So there's, like, the girls went last time, and the guys, like, literally packed them, like, other people's makeup or, like, forgot to pack them any underwear, or the black girls don't have any wigs, and, like, it's just a mess.
Yeah.
And,
But I'm sure when it's a role reversal, when the girls are packing for the guys, it's like everything they need, all organized. Like,
also, sometimes people will leave little trinkets to, like, remember them by, and that
oh,
will help solidify. Because the thing is, when they don't know when Casa is happening, they don't always know where their relationship stands before going.
mm,
So, sometimes a little, like, stuffed animal or something will make them feel more secure.
cute.
Sometimes if there's, like, 3 strong couples and 2 of them got something and the 3rd one didn't, that'll really send a different message.
Mm,
Mhm.
mhm.
And in Casa Amor, they get a whole new villa of people as well. So say 6 girls go to Casa Amor, there are 6 brand new guys waiting there for them,
Oh,
and
whoa, okay.
6 brand new girls will enter the main villa as well for the original guys.
Okay.
Uh, you spend the next 3 to 5 days, it's usually, like, 3 these days, it should be longer, getting to know the whole new group of islanders, and from the beginning, they make them do challenges where they're, like, getting a text and they have to race the Casa Amor and villa and the main villa to do these challenges on their phones faster, but they'll be, like, tallest girl and shortest boy make out, or,
Oh.
like, boy with the first like, earliest letter in the alphabet has to lick the toe of the or suck on the toe of the girl with the last like, whatever, like, it's literally shit like sucking toes and, racing each other to put lipstick on, and, um There's acting out sex positions, there's lots of kissing, there's three-way kisses, there's just so much, like it's just so dumb and
Yeah.
sexual,
Yeah.
but it breaks the tension, breaks the
Yeah.
ice.
Yeah.
And at the end of Casa Amor, we get a huge, big, dramatic recoupling in which the people in Casa Amor have to choose if they want to recouple with someone they made a connection with in Casa Amor, or if they want to go back to the main villa, remaining faithful to their original partner.
Mm.
But they cannot know what their partner in the main villa has chosen.
Oh.
And if they come back to remain faithful and their partner has recoupled, then they will now be single and vulnerable.
Mm.
They always do the casa recoupling from the main villa. So they always show, like, if the guys were there last season, it shows them deciding if they want to recouple or couple up with the casa girls, and the girls will be
Mhm.
like on a line. And then after they make their decision, their partner walks in, their old partner walks in, either alone or with their new partner. And so you're
Mm.
finding out with them, and it's so dramatic.
Mm. Mhm.
There's always lots of fallout from Casa Amor, so it's, like, not even just dramatic when it happens, but afterwards for ages, because it's, like, you never really know what happened, but the cameras do. So sometimes we've had girls be like, guys will be faithful, but as in they don't recouple, but they actually were, like, fooling around with some girls in Casa. A lot of guys call it a lad's holiday.
Ugh.
I know. And so they'll let the
Don't
Casa
love
girls
that.
the host will let the Casa girls be like, "You look surprised that no one coupled up with you. Like, did you find a connection?" And then they'll let that girl from Casa more, like, go on a date with the guy's partner and be like, "Yeah, we were, like, making out in bed."
Drama. I love it.
And as of season 7, they also started doing this thing called movie night, which isn't Casa exclusively, but it started from that because there was a lot of misdirection on behalf of the producers, making one girl feel like the guy was not being faithful when he was. So they
Mhm.
gave movie night to stir up even more drama with, like, clips of them in Casa, like, that could also be misconstrued. So movie night is clips of the people doing things throughout the series that, like, their partners didn't see, and it causes
Oh.
so much drama.
Yeah. Okay.
I have another clip for you now.
Okay.
This one is shorter, but this is
Okay.
not from movie night, but it is from Casa More Fallout. Both of the people in this clip, for anyone who's watched Love Island, this is from series 5, which is inarguably the most iconic series of Love Island ever.
Oh.
If you've never seen it, you should start there. This couple, Amy and Curtis, were together for 4 weeks before Casa Amor. They were very strong. Neither of them recouple, but he tells her almost immediately after that there was a girl he would have recoupled with had she been interested. And Amy's reaction is just so iconic.
I like that she says basically, I had to pause. I like that she said basically cheated on. Like, bitch, you were cheated on.
Mhm.
Like, it's not basically borderline. I can't tell if he's being sarcastic or serious, and I don't love that.
He's being serious.
Okay, okay. Then I do love that because he's self aware.
He's one of the few good guys.
Okay. You're the perfect man. You're fucking not. Oh, this music.
Yeah, Curtis is actually a good guy. That's the problem. Most of them are not, and that season is very famous for having a lot of really confrontational women in a way that we have always wanted to come back since. Because that season, that is the "I was coming back here to tell you I loved you" scene is like a reaction gif and a meme that people love, and it's incredible. But that season has so many women who stick together and who fight, and they speak over the men, and the men get mad at them, and they'll be like, "You look fucking pathetic right now," and, like, "I can't believe," and they, like, go off, and I could have given you a much harsher clip.
No, I loved how confrontational she was. And the fact that he was like, yep, yeah, I have. Yeah. Like he wasn't arguing it. He was just like, mm-hmm. Yep, you're right.
The Casa Amor shenanigans are always a point of contention, though, because she says you basically cheated, or she says you cheated, and he says basically yes, right? And to you, you're like, yeah, you
He
did.
says basically cheated, and he says essentially or something like that.
But so it's a point of contention because if they haven't actually asked each other to be in a couple or to be exclusive, a lot of times in Love Island, first they'll be like, "Do you want to be exclusive?" And then they'll ask if they want to be
Mm,
boyfriend girlfriend. But if they
mm,
haven't actually said that, then they'll be like,
yeah,
"We're coupled up, but like it's only been a couple of weeks and like we deserve to explore our options."
mm,
You know? You see where I'm going?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It was definitely firmer in season 5, which is why there was so much confrontation, and then people got worse, and now Casa Amor, all the guys fucking dick around, and it pisses me off.
Well, I hope that new women coming onto it, if that's what the guys are going to do, then they do the same.
They always say they will, and then they don't, but sometimes there was a good revenge plot in season 2, or series 10, I will give it to them.
Okay.
Other hallmarks, there's always a dance party, which is basically a Spotify soundstage with an actual artist. Sometimes it's a DJ, sometimes it's
Oh,
someone I know. One time it was Rita Ora recently.
oh,
The
cool.
series 10, the one that made them that was like, I want to take a selfie in front of the villain, send him off to Casa Amor, was Nelly. Easily the biggest name
Weird
they've had.
choice. Okay.
There's also always a beach club day where they go to like it's still just them, but at a new location.
Okay, okay,
And they go to a beach club.
okay.
Fucking baby day. Near the end of the series, there is a day where they give each couple a baby doll that looks like them. They wake up to the babies in their little cribs in a different room crying. These babies cry all the time, and they have to like it's a challenge to see which couples pass and which couples fail by the
This
end
is
of the day.
very weird that our um contention with Disney always including middle schoolers and high schoolers having fake babies is now overlapping to a reality TV show. So they give them fake babies for how long?
Just a day.
Okay.
They name them, they dress them, they play games with them. They always send either all the women or all the men out like half partway through the day for like a little picnic. So then the other one has to like
Take care of the baby.
yeah.
Okay.
We've had great moments like the guys having pram races. Pram is strollers.
Yep.
And the baby's going flying. So like if the baby goes flying, like that couple fails.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah. However, they did not do baby day in the last series. And it's the first time they haven't. It's been a series 1 staple. And I'm not mad about that because those babies cry so loudly. We also always get a family day where it used to be on screen. Now they fly the families out to Mallorca, families or friends. They get 2 usually people each when you get down to the final 5 couples who will come into the villa and talk to them. And that helps give the islanders a little bit of reassurance if their parents will be like, "Oh, yeah, I really like him from everything we've seen on TV and stuff, and he seems really nice, and, like, he did that he was, like, fucking 5 girls in Casa Amor, but, like, he seems really remorseful now," and, um yeah.
Mhm.
And then after Love Island, there's a reunion. In the first 4 series or 5, they did it months after, which was great because you could see the progression of the couples. Now they do it literally the week after Love Island ends.
Um,
So it's kinda boring.
yeah, I don't love that. I like when they do it a few months after so you can actually like see what's going on.
Yes. There's also always, like every time an islander gets dumped, like, while the series is still going on, even if they were just a Casa Amor bombshell that didn't get chosen, they fucking go on 12 different podcasts and
Oh, of
tell
course.
yeah.
You would too. Don't even act like you wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't.
You would go on podcasts.
Oh, yes, I would, yes. I'm on a
Yeah.
podcast right now.
Well, sure.
Some fun facts. In series 1 and maybe 2, I haven't seen series 2, it's the only one I haven't seen. There was a live dumping weekly with the host right outside the villa. So it would be like someone was voted out and they had to walk out to the host with, like, an audience and discuss immediately.
Oh, I don't love that.
Yeah. In
Probably
that
why they got rid of it.
In those series, the hideaway was always open, and people were in general, just like the first couple series, people were always smoking, always fucking, and there was a lot of sexism. But, like, people were having full-on sex in the communal bedroom, which does happen in all of the series, but it was, like, graphically in the first one. Originally, Saturday was a recap episode. It was if you haven't been watching Love Island this week, here's what you missed. Boring. Starting in season 5, they started Unseen Bits, which is where the Scottish guy compiles all of his favorite moments that didn't make it to air because they're filming 24/7 and they're
Yeah.
only 1-hour episodes. And these are usually like Islanders getting scared of bugs, Islanders tripping and falling. Sometimes they play fun pranks on each other. It's adorable, and I'm going to now show you another clip that is short and not great quality, but it is, one that went viral from this recent season 10.
Okay.
I love Unseen Bits, it's my favorite because you get to really see their personality.
Of the very cinematic music.
Oh, yeah, they love doing jokey shit like that on Unseen Bits.
So they all are hiding behind the fire pit from one of the contestants.
Mhm.
Oh my god, and he's looking everywhere.
Mhm. And also the girl that said, "Let's do it," is the girl he's partnered up with.
Oh my god.
Like, cause you just know they get bored, and so they're just doing shit.
Yeah. The Scottish guy's really funny.
I know.
I love that because at the end of anyone who watches Bachelor 2, but mostly in Bachelor in Paradise, they'll do like a little clip at the end of something that like funny that happens. Like one season, one that like will stay in my head is one of the girls was like bringing pizza to everyone on the beach. And like they clearly all were so hungry and they were waiting for this pizza. And she like trips and falls and it falls into the sand. Um, so I feel like I would love the unseen bits because that shit is like it doesn't move the plot forward, so that's why they don't put it in the regular episodes, but it's like so funny. Like the fact that you know that they're sitting in this house and they're like, what fucking shit can we get up to? Because we have nothing to do but lie here and talk and drink, you know?
Exactly, like, I love Unseen Bits, and while the thing is it doesn't necessarily move the plot forward in terms of the drama, but sometimes,
They
like
can
that
stir the pot.
well, it can, but it also humanizes them and makes me understand their relationships better because, like, that couple, the blonde girl that was like, "Let's all hide from him," and the guy that they were hiding from, they were coupled up, and they had so much drama this season, but they always said that they, like, had a bunch of fun together, but you didn't see it really in the
Mm,
show, and then you would see
mm.
Unseen Bits and be like, "Oh, I get it."
Yeah, yeah.
Like, this
That's fair.
Love Island is trying to expand the Love Island universe/cinematic connections by having Islanders come back. They started this in series 8. They had an Islander from series 4 come back in the villa for the
Mm,
very first time.
mhm.
Then in series 9, they had a couple of people from Love Island Australia come onto the UK island. Um, they did this with the US as well. They had someone from season 2 come in on season 3 or 4. So that's one of the fun facts, and now obviously Love Island Games. Another fun fact, in season 3, when Casa Amor recoupling happened, they didn't tell them this was gonna happen, but all of the single islanders at the end of Casa Amor were dumped. They were the very first Casa Amor, and anyone who decided to stay faithful, if their partner had not stayed faithful, they were dumped from the island.
Fucked up.
I know. It's one of my favorite recouplings, it's so dramatic.
That's fucked.
Another fun fact, social media plays a huge part in Love Island. Usually there's a family member or friend who runs the socials for the person who's in the island or in the
Mm.
villa at the time while they're there, and it's often been said that the first contestant to get to 1 million followers on Instagram is the winner. However, due to a lot of hate comments that always happen based on people's personalities and edits that they get, and it being an unhappy environment for the people running the socials, there's now a new rule that the people socials have to remain dormant entirely, which has kind of completely changed the game because instead of coming out where like the top 4 all have near 1 million followers, now they have like a couple 100,000 and they're not getting nearly as big of brand deals. So, It's interesting, I'd say,
Hmm.
because maybe there's less incentive to go on, but it is still there to some extent, but, like, yeah, I don't know.
And I'm
I
sure they can grow afterwards too, and some of them probably grow really quickly. So I feel like it still doesn't take away the whole like you can be a social media influencer after going on, which is probably a lot of right? That's a lot of reasons people would apply.
100%. But it while it doesn't take that away, it does make it smaller because think about, like, while you're watching the show, you're gonna follow people, but after it's over, are you gonna really think to follow them?
Yeah.
What's interesting with Love Island Games is it's pre-recorded entirely, and so the people are actively on socials right now. The Islanders are, like, reacting to it with the audience.
Oh, cool.
Also, as the series gets bigger, it gets more policed. You used to see sex a lot, as I said, and even in most seasons, you would at least see them under the covers. Now you don't see it at all,
Oh.
which I don't really like, honestly. Like, I kinda wanna know if there's some bumping and grinding.
Also, like, that's curious to me because you have like game shows in the UK like Naked Attraction where they like are showing full on fucking dick and balls on a TV game show. So it's like if you see some people having some sex under the covers, like I just feel
Yeah.
like the UK's rules for that are different. So I'm surprised that they're policing that because normally they do not.
I think it's because it's such a big show and a lot of teenagers watch it.
Fair, I guess.
Also, they used to every season, the boys and the girls, in their morning debriefs, they do it by gender. They would have a coded way of talking about how far they'd gotten, like first base, second base, third base, but instead it would be like the level you've graduated to or your soccer allegories or something. But they've stopped doing that as much, and I'm
Mm,
sad because I like it. Season
yeah.
7 was the first series that I watched, and there was one day where all of the original girls made a pact that they were all gonna have sex that night, and they all did, and then they had a graduation ceremony with caps the next morning.
Oh my god, I love that.
Like, there were 4 couples in the same bedroom having sex.
That is amazing.
Amy, the girl from that clip you watched, also said
Yeah.
that there are mics in the beds that you can, like, push back to kind of sneak
Oh.
some stuff, but production will notice after a bit. But she got away with it a little bit with that guy.
Mm.
There's a group called Destiny's Childish, which started from season 5, and it's like all the guys that were fucking around too much. That's what they call them. And it's because in season 5, there's a guy who very iconically calls all of the girls childish, but with his accent, it's like childish, childish, like it sounds like an A.
Yeah.
And so there's a there, but like all those guys were friends that season. They also were all roommates, still live together. And every season when someone fucks around too much and is just like acting out of order, they get photoshopped into this photo until it's this growing Destiny's Childish poster.
That's so good.
Also, another fun fact: the girl who won Series 5, which is again iconic, has the biggest arc. She won because everyone loved her and she got screwed over. The guy that she won with did not matter. No one gave a shit. Now she's in a relationship with a female footballer.
Oh, that is this is what we live for.
Exactly.
That is amazing.
There's some secrets of Love Island. Like before going into the villa, they're held on a quarantine and a lockdown with a chaperone. Their phones are taken away from them and they have to watch the show to be up on it. No contact with the outside world. Most of them don't know what time it is. They literally are not told what time it is while they're in the villa. They're just up
There's
to
no
like
clocks?
no clocks. They get woken up with bright fluorescent lights in their bedroom, and then they get told when they get to go to bed. The recouplings go until like 2 a.m. and the Casa Amor one is known to go until like 5 a.m. So that's why they don't tell them.
Huh.
Yeah,
Okay.
like bombshells who
That
have
would
come in
stress me out.
bombshells who
Because
have
how do
come
you
in,
know
like,
what day it is? If you don't know what time it is, you also don't know what day it is.
they just don't.
Oh, I don't love that.
The bombshells who have come in after recouplings have been like, it was, like, 2 a.m. and they were all eating dinner like it was normal. Yeah, you also never see them eat. They have a kitchen that's stocked with, like, snacks. They'll make little breakfasts and smoothies and toasties, but, actual full meals, it's not interesting. It all gets catered. They get separated, boys and girls, so that nothing interesting happens while they're eating, and it's entirely off camera.
Huh.
They have 1 day off a week from filming, in which also they have to sleep separately, like girls and boys with boys, because no one's gay, right? And on those days off, people, I think, will come in to do their touch up their hair and nails, but all of their makeup and wardrobe is done by themselves except for the live finale. They used to be allowed out on that day out, and also for some things, like a cooking date, where they would go out grocery shopping beforehand, but, after season 5, it got too big, so they're not allowed to leave the villa the whole time they're in there.
Mm, that makes sense for safety.
And they are filmed well, also for yeah. They're filmed 24/7. They've said they're even in the toilet, but they're not shown in the toilet. It's just, like, knowing where they are. In the first 3 seasons, they were allowed to smoke on camera, and smoke they did. They smoked up a storm, and then they got lots of complaints, so now they're not allowed to smoke on camera. They have a specific smoking area that they can only go to one at a time so that nothing interesting happens.
Mm.
Yeah. And also, they're not allowed to share beds with the other islanders that they're not coupled up with. So either you get to sleep with your partner. That's why Amy was saying you can sleep outside. I don't care. Either you sleep with your partner or you sleep outside on a day bed, which sucks because it's hot and there's mosquitoes.
Huh.
Or sometimes they sleep on the couch, but it's
So
not
you're
as.
telling me someone is coming in there and being like, "This isn't who you're coupled up with. Get into the right bed." Like
I
that
mean,
feels.
they're just not allowed. It's a rule. And producers are
Okay.
there.
Huh. Okay.
But it's so like if there's a couple where, say, there's two couples
Hmm.
and people in each of the couple are interested in each other more than their partners, they can't share
Hmm.
a bed because they're not coupled up together. They have to wait until a
But
recoupling.
they could go on the day bed and share a bed there.
Yes, and that does sometimes happen. But
Huh.
part of the drama is like they can't share a bed in the main bedroom and recouple together, but they could still get voted off in their regular couple if like there's a compatibility vote and they're in an incompatible couple, but they have someone else there for them, but they're not with that person, they could get voted off.
Hmm. Okay.
So it's like drama. There's drama,
Hmm.
you know. Okay, now I have a quiz for you. And
Okay.
obviously, it's not about anything I just told you. This is all just like I want you to guess.
Okay.
Love Island is based on which of the following series? Oh, I don't have a name for this fun quiz. Whatever. Love Island is based on which of the following series? Bachelor in Paradise, Big Brother, or Celebrity Love Island?
Big Brother.
That is incorrect. Love Island started in 2015 but is based off a 2-series 2005 show called Celebrity Love Island, where they had like B-list
Oh.
celebrities go to a villa in Fiji.
Oh, interesting. Okay. I had never heard of it. So I was like, it can't be that. But then I knew Bachelor in Paradise started around the same time. So I'm like, it also can't be based on that.
I checked, it started a year before.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have included it.
I knew it was like 2014, 2015, or 2016. So I was like, that doesn't seem right.
Not including the aforementioned After Sun, which is the Sunday talk show, Unseen Bits, and recap podcasts. How many spin-off series do you think have come directly from Love Island UK? Is it 0? Is
Mm.
it 2? Or is it 5?
5.
It is 5.
Mhm.
Imagine I was like, "Can you name them?"
I only know US and Australia. I don't know what the rest are.
No, I'm not talking about countries. I'm talking about spin-off reality shows. Like,
Oh.
these are all ones that followed contestants afterwards.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were saying like Love Island US because that's like technically a spin off of the UK. But okay.
No, that's my next question.
Oh.
But in so there's from season 3, Chris and Kem got their own show. Chris and Olivia got their own show. Season 4, Danny and Jack got their own show. Season 5, this is a very weird show called Boxer and Ballroom Dancer about 2 of the main people. And
Huh.
then season 7, Davide and Ekin-Su got their own show.
Huh.
That was fun, that season because the winners were Turkish and Italian. So it was like he's an immigrant, like doesn't speak English fluently, Italian,
Yeah.
and she's like a Turkish parents raised in the UK.
Cool.
And somehow they won on this British ass show.
Cool.
Anyway, so next question is, how many countries have currently or have had their own Love Island series?
Okay.
Your options are 25, 10, or 5.
Oh, 10? I feel like it's 5 though. 10 seems like so many. 5, it's 5, it's 5.
It's 25.
Are you kidding me?
Including the UK, 25 countries have had their own version of Love Island.
What? That's wild.
I didn't even realize, like, watching Love Island games, one of the first contestants is from Sweden, and I didn't know Sweden had their own. There's also, like, Albania and, like, the Czech Republic and Slovakia have a joint one, and there's, like, so many.
Crazy. I would have never thought it was 25.
Of the 10 UK series thus far, how many couples do you think are still together? Your options are 7, 16, or 25. All the couples.
16.
That is correct. Of the 10 series, there are 16 couples still together, but like one series did just finish, so that'll go down soon. But some of them have babies and marriage.
Yeah. Like, that's my thing when people make fun of Bachelor. I'm like, yeah, you know, if you look at all of it, the percentage of it working out is low, but it does work out for some people. People have fucking kids and have been married for years. Like,
and
shit
some
works.
of the ones that are still together are the villain couples that like coupled up in Casa Amor when one of them was already in a solid couple and everyone voted them off, but like they're still together 2 years later, so who cares?
Yeah.
So, Love Island viewers are notorious for calling in their complaints about a particular islander or moment that they feel is just completely out of order.
Okay.
They call in their complaints to Ofcom, which is the Office of Communications in the UK that helps regulate television.
Okay.
What of the 3 following, what do you think is the largest number of complaints that Ofcom has received over a single incident in Love Island?
Okay.
Is it 4,330?
Okay.
Is it 24,763? Or is it 314?
Oh, it's 24,000.
It is
whatever.
24,000.
Yeah. Which is wild that people like have time to do that.
All of those were real numbers. 314 complaints were there about that clip you saw of Amy talking to Curtis because people worried about her mental health. They've actually added in mental health coaches to talk to the Islanders while they're in there because there's been so many complaints about their mental health. 4,330 was Series 7 because the producers gave them a postcard gave a postcard to the girls while the guys were in Casa Amor that made it look like their guys were up to shit that they weren't. And again, people were worried about their health. And 24,763 complaints were again in Series 7 of 2021 when the first movie night happened and one of the girls that was already sensitive and hot-headed about that postcard then saw a clip of her guy looking like he did something when he didn't. He was the most loyal of them all, and she blew up in a way that people thought was like abusive and unsafe. It was also very clearly like she repeatedly said like, do not talk to me, like I cannot talk to you right now, and he kept having to come up for a conversation. Like there was definitely some producer prodding in that. Next of our multiple choice, what is the most expensive brand deal to come out of Love Island?
Ooh.
So a singular brand deal given to an Islander post returning to real life. Is it £1,000,000? Is it £500,000? Or is it £1.5 million?
£1 million.
Correct. To our best knowledge, it is £1 million, which went to season 8. No, yep, season 8. finalists, 1 million pounds to Gemma Owen for Pretty Little Things, and 1 million pounds to Ekin-Su for Opali. They're always fast fashion brands.
Don't love that.
Yeah, starting with season 8, because Pretty Little Thing every single season is on the Love Island Twitter and chooses someone to be their brand ambassador from that cast. And so the two are so intertwined that people really criticize the fast fashion of it all. And so now, since season 8, Love Island has been partnering with eBay and encouraging people to rewear clothes and use pre-loved clothes. And one of the girls from season 8 actually partnered with eBay to be a pre-loved ambassador.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Okay, now, rapid fire, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. We've been recording for a while. Guess that slang. Bird.
Oh, like a chick. Hot chick.
Yes. Banter.
Oh, like not an argument, but kind of like it's playful, going back and forth. Could be flirty.
Yes. A bit of me.
Oh, I have no idea.
If I say, like, he's a bit of me.
Like you have similarities?
Like, I like him.
Okay.
Yeah. He's a bit of me. Is like, I like him.
Okay.
Buzzing. I'm absolutely buzzing.
Oh, is that like you feel good like after something that just happened? Like if it's a date or something like that.
Close. It's excited.
Okay.
Crack on.
I don't know.
It's just like, go ahead. Often it's used in
Oh.
the context of two people crack on together. They'll get to know each other.
Okay.
In the kitchen, they have the words eat, sleep, crack on, repeat.
Oh, that's fun.
Grafting.
I have literally no idea.
Grafting means to put in the work for a relationship. It's like beyond flirting. A lot of times when like the people get caught flirting too much with someone else, they'll have to put their grafting boots on and like really show their partner that they like them by making them breakfast and like paying attention to their needs and stuff.
Okay.
I think it's an agricultural term.
Okay.
Melt.
It's not like
He's a melt.
oh, I don't know. He's too hot. He's I don't know.
No, it's like he's too soft. Like he's like head over heels gushy. He's
Oh.
melted.
Okay.
A mug. Or to be muggy.
I don't know.
To be muggy is to like fool around, like kind of disrespect someone, make someone think that you like them when you don't. And so a mug can be a person who is muggy, or it can be the person who you are muggy towards. You can also
Okay.
get mugged off. That's why in that Amy and Curtis clip, she says, "You made me look like an absolute mug."
Mug.
Yeah. And you can get mugged off. Pied.
Besides the physical being pied.
Yeah, it's the symbolic version of that.
Oh. Okay. Like someone okay, if you're pied, you're like being made a fool of.
Close. It's rejected.
Okay.
A lot of times on Snog, Marry, Pie, someone will come up to someone who they previously were talking to, and they'll pie them because they got emotionally pied by
Pied.
them.
Okay.
On job.
I don't know.
He has to be on job today. He's on job. It came up mostly with season 8. I think it was kind of annoying how much they said it. It's like grafting. It's like he's on job. He's like ready to put in the work. Not sometimes it means with your partner. Sometimes it's like you're single and you need to talk to every single person in the villa to decide who you want to crack on with. So you're on job.
Okay.
Factor 50.
And this has nothing to do with sunscreen.
Correct. But I did look up the origin and it said Boots in any other pharmacy.
So it kind of has something to do with sunscreen. It's loosely sunscreen related.
They will say I'll put on Factor 50.
I don't know.
It's just like moving fast. Like,
oh, okay.
It's like laying it on really thick with someone. And yeah.
Okay.
And moving mad is your last one.
Is that the same thing? Like moving too quickly? Head over heels?
A little different.
Okay. I don't know.
Moving mad is crazy is like it's usually used when someone shows interest in a lot of people over a short amount of time.
Mm.
So, one guy was with a girl for a couple of weeks, then, like, all of a sudden recoupled with someone else, then all of a sudden recoupled with someone else, then went to Casa Amor, brought someone else back, and then was interested in the girl he was with 2 girls before, and they were like, Toby, you are moving mad."
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
And now instead of any quotes, I have my final clip for you because
Okay.
Love Island is so good for so many reasons, and there's so many incredible quotes, but this is the most iconic quote. Now there's always a mixed group of intelligence, but this is going to be hands down the dumbest person that has ever been on Love Island, and I'm sure she's incredible, but she is not book smart, and this is Haley from series 4. This clip has been viral multiple times.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh my, what is this real? Oh my that feels not real. If you go in a plane, is it still in the United Kingdom? She's
Depends
like,
on where
"What?"
you go.
Yeah. She's like Spain, and they're like, "No, that's Spain."
That's Europe, but it's the United Kingdom. No, it's Europe.
And
So,
what'd
like
she say? "I live in Cardiff, so I live in a country." And they're like,
mhm,
"No, that's a
she
city."
doesn't live in Cardiff. I live in
What?
Essex? Essex
Oh,
is
maybe.
or some but she was like, so she said Car Wales is in Cardiff at one point.
Oh, yeah, that's what she said, and they were like, "No."
What's the difference between a county and a country?
Yeah, that is what well, and what did she say was a continent at the beginning? All
Essex,
this
I think that was Essex as a continent.
very confusing. Like, how like, what's I'm concerned for
And that's
her.
after the Brexit vote.
Oh, no. I hope she didn't vote in that. She does not have the brains to make an educated decision.
It's so good, and I love that the girls are all actually trying to educate her and not making fun of her.
You can tell they're, like, laughing because 'cause they're like, "Is this serious?" But yes, I do agree, they're all actually really, like, truthfully going into the conversation. They're not doing it for the joke, they're trying to make her understand.
Yeah. So that is your Love Island recap. Jessica, after this, do you think that you would be interested in ever watching Love Island?
I feel like I could be interested, yes. I think that I would love it based on the fact of, like, other reality TV shows that I love. I feel like it's the time commitment that would get me every time.
Is there anything about this that has surprised you?
Um, I didn't realize there was games, so that makes it more enticing. Also, I think just like how like I didn't know there was like 25 different spin-offs like create like clearly it has a huge impact. And so I feel like that kind of makes me want to watch it more because it's like, wait, if this can justify 24 other spin-offs, like it must be great.
I think the time commitment is intimidating, but it's also part of what makes it so enjoyable because it's like every night, especially the British version, it's like every night in the UK, families are sitting down and they're watching their Love Island. And then it's huge on Facebook with the white moms and it's huge on Twitter, especially Black Twitter. And like you get to recap and debrief what you saw. And then there's videos and memes and stuff posted around. So it's like a community event because it happens every single night.
Mm,
Mm.
I could see that. Especially if you're like still living at home or you have a thing where you have like dinner at a set time. It makes sense. Like eat dinner, turn this on, you know?
It's the reason I didn't get rid of Twitter for so long because Love Island Twitter is elite. It's just so good.
Mm.
But that was Love Island. I hope that you guys enjoyed this different kind of format. I know it was very different. I flew by the seat of my pants.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. If there's any other reality TV shows you want us to cover or talk about, again, I said I'm a huge Bachelor fan, so
I've never
happy.
seen The Bachelor.
Yeah, so happy to do that if you're interested. Let us know if you have other reality TV shows that are your favorite. Follow us on all of our socials, 90s Babies Nostalgia on Instagram and YouTube. Spell out the word 90s. We're also on TikTok, but use the numbers there. Also, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. And with that, we'll look forward to seeing you in the next one, in which we are talking about YouTube and old YouTube specifically. So that one should be fun.
I hope you enjoyed this because I really enjoyed making it. And thanks for listening.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.